Hello there, YouTube. I'm Pastor Lee, and today is Saturday, August the 25th, and I do have those global end times headline news, and I've got quite a few. I was able to get quite a few headlines this week, but keep in mind that this is just a sampling of all the headlines. There's so many things going on now. To keep up with it is almost virtually impossible. And I try to not spend too much time on this because uh, busy being prepared for this upcoming Hurricane Isaac, trying to put all the loose items away that might get tossed around in the wind. Don't want anything being thrown through somebody's windshield or anything like that. So just trying to tidy up a little bit. But hopefully the storm is not going to cause too much trouble. Hopefully it stays out in the Gulf, stays away from the coast of Florida here. But unfortunately, someplace the storm has to hit ground, has to hit land. So we just need to pray for anybody along the Gulf Coast who is going to be hit by the storm, and just pray to God that lives aren't lost and that there's not too much personal property damage. So here we go with the headlines. Germany's Foreign Intelligence Service operating on ships off Syria's coast with the technology allowing them to observe troop movements up to 400 miles inside the country. So if you think about it, they can observe from off the coastline what the troops are doing 400 miles inland. I mean, that's some amazing technology. New evidence reveals cover-up of civilian drone deaths in Pakistan. 24 drone strikes from 2008 to 2011 show civilian casualties accounted for 74% of the total death toll. Well, I think I'm going to go out on a limb a little bit here, but I think I'm still playing it safe, relatively safe. I think that this is pretty much what's in store for the United States as far as these drones attacking civilians, because one thing, they've already made it legal for them to do so. These drones are equipped with who knows what kind of ammunition, what type of guns. And if you are what they consider a terrorist, let's say you happen to be a born-again, Bible-believing Christian, just take that type of person. You're a terrorist. You are a target. So if we have to die for being a Christian, living and walking in the ways of God, living the godly life that He expects us to live, well, I'm going to really tell you the truth from my heart. I would die for it. If that's what leads me to my death, then that's fine. It really is. I mean, it may sound morbid to some people, but if you think about it, it really isn't. I mean, serving God, and you really can't go wrong, because the worst case scenario, not that it's a bad or it's worse, but let's just say worst case scenario, if you are to be killed, then you'll be home with the Lord. That's exactly what we're waiting for anyway. We used to relate Walt Disney, Disney World. Now, I know growing up, when I was just a little tiny boy, every Sunday night, Wonderful World of Disney would come on, and the Disney movies were always rated G, never anything above that, nothing PG. It was always a safe movie to go to take your family. But you know, that couldn't be further from the truth. Disney is evil from the inside out. I know I may have burst your bubble, and I'm sorry, but just do some research on Disney, and you know exactly what I'm talking about. Well, this article says that scientists employed by Walt Disney Company have developed technology that allows them to replicate with near perfect accuracy the very versatile human face. They refer this to physical face cloning. Yeah, we're talking about Disney. Disney hiring scientists to work for them to come up with duplicating human faces. I say, give me a break, but I also say, what's this going to lead to? I wouldn't just say, well, this is as far as it goes. I believe that this is going to be carried even further. God knows what they have in store. Cities, counties nationwide begin mass aerial spraying of toxic anti-mass anti-West Nile virus. Well, I'm going to say right off the top, there are people speaking out over YouTube, the internet, who know what they're talking about, who are saying that the West Nile virus cannot be diagnosed. Cannot be. They're using another fear tactic. This way, if they put enough fear out there, it gives them the freedom to do whatever they want. So what are they really spraying? Yes, they do have planes flying over, small planes. Well, one of the pesticides is called Sumathrin. I may not have said it right, but Sumathrin is linked to colony collapse disorder, which is widespread BEE die-off. Cut off bee pollination, and you know what happens? Our food disappears. It's not just that you don't have flowers, but we depend on bees to pollinate to get our food. And I personally, my wife and I just here last week, walking back from our swimming pool in our complex here, little small plane right before sunset flew just over the treetops, made two passes, spraying. And I tell you what, I'm not a happy camper with that. If Israel attacks Iran, the Israeli heartland could face retaliation from more than 10,000 missiles based in Iran, Syria, Lebanon, and the Gaza Strip. This is according to Uzi Rubin, founder and first director of Israel's Missile Defense Organization. Well, this is the exact scenario that I've been seeing for the last several years. And this is exactly playing right into God's prophecy. Isaiah 17:1 and Psalm 83, which both of those possibly almost simultaneously could be fulfilled. And I'm being fulfilled very, very soon. Finland is batting down the hatches for a full-blown currency crisis as tensions in Eurozone continue to mount. There's a mall shooting in Odessa, Texas. One dead, 2 injured. And you can bet your bottom dollar that they're going to be using this to continue to give them reasons to take guns from citizens. And today is Saturday, yesterday Friday. We know that in New York City, the Empire State Building was another shooting. Of course, they're going to be able to use that to continue the push to confiscate all guns. School officials at Lake Charles, Louisiana Elementary School want to have the palms of students scanned in order to expedite the school lunch line. Well, so they really couldn't give a flip about the length of line that a child has to wait to get the food. This is just another way to condition the minds, even starting at an early age, conditioning the minds to accept the eventual mark of the beast, the Antichrist. Those against whom the hollow point bullets are to be used, those causing the civil unrest, must be American citizens, since the Social Security Administration has never been used overseas to help foreign countries maintain control of their citizens. What then would be the target of these 174,000 rounds of hollow point bullets be? It can't simply be to control demonstrators or rioters. Hollow point bullets are so lethal, people, that the Geneva Convention does not even allow their use on the battlefield in time of war. Hollow points don't just stop or hurt people. They penetrate the body, spread out the fragment, and cause maximum damage to the body's organs, and then leads to death. Interesting facts. The war in Iraq, our military expended approximately 70 million rounds per year. Here, the Social Security Administration is wanting to have 174,000 rounds. Think about it. What the heck are they going to do with it? It's estimated that the Department of Homeland Security has enough ammo to empty 5 rounds into the body of every living American citizen. Can you believe that? What the heck are they planning? What are they expecting? I think we have a pretty good idea, don't we? According to Israeli TV, Netanyahu is determined to attack Iran before the U.S. elections, or let me just say that a little bit different, the U.S. selections, which have already been made thanks to the Bilderberg meetings. CIA spies smuggle 14 Stinger missiles into Syria so rebels can take out regime warplanes. Isn't it funny how our media speaks of those rebels, when it's the United States that's actually backing them up? No big surprise, is it? Total deception, pure and simple. I've said it before, and I'm going to say it again. The Muslim Brotherhood. The Muslim Brotherhood will continue to take over the nations in the Middle East. And they will control them for a certain amount of time. And when the Antichrist steps forward, the Antichrist will have total control. Now, if you look at your Bible, Isaiah chapter 19, verse 4, you'll see this being played out right before our very eyes. A judge in Lubbock, Texas, actually there, the judge is actually the mayor. He's warning of what he calls a civil war and possible invasion of United Nations troops if Obama is reelected. Well, that's a pretty good explanation of possibly all this ammunition that the Department of Homeland Security is getting, don't you think? If we have civil war breakout, I believe so. And when it comes to this judge, he's already set a plan into place if this was to occur. He's got some kind of special tax deal going on. So I'm not knocking this guy. I believe his last name is Head, Judge Head. I'm not knocking him at all. Because this guy is awake. This guy sees exactly what's going on. And he's not beating around the bush. He's coming out and speaking the truth. And that's exactly what we all need to be doing. And I'm going to leave you here with one interesting fact. 3 maniacal spokespeople from the CDC, Center of Disease Control, backed by 5 major networks, they can brainwash the public about a virus in as little as 7 days. So you watch the news and you see them talking about the West Nile virus, the West Nile virus. They speak it enough. If they tell you a lie enough times, you will eventually believe it. And that's really what the bottom line is when it comes to the lamestream media. That's what they do. They have a script that's totally written out, and they're handed to them, and they start speaking these things and speaking these things over and over and over again until people begin to believe it. As a matter of fact, I was watching Fox News, which I try not to, but I was watching it here just a few months ago. And I think it was on the weekend. It was in the morning. 2 gentlemen were there, and one was saying to the other that a lie is not a lie if you get people to believe it. They came out and said that. So they know. They're telling you right there. If they tell you a lie enough times and you get you to believe it, they don't even believe it's a lie. They don't think it's a lie. Well, that's what my job is here. That's what the good Lord is giving me to do here. One of the few things is to continue to speak the truth out there. Put it out there as long as I can, because one day, as we all know, the internet is going to be changed. It's going to be run and controlled completely by the government, so we're not going to have the freedom of speech to put out there what needs to be put out. Well, I appreciate you listening to me. I want to get back to watching the progress of the storm, and God willing, I'll see you next week. And I just hope that you have a very, very blessed week. Take care, and bye-bye.